There's an album coming.
All right. Well, tell me about the album that's coming out, because it's been, I guess, 3 years since Velvet.
Yeah, and I released Velvet right before the pandemic, so it was like 2 weeks later, everything got shut down. We had so many plans. We had so much. We had a tour planned. We had, promo planned, everything. So it was a bit disappointing that everything got canceled. And so the idea came up to do an album of covers.
Oh.
And I haven't done that before. I've done that on Idol, obviously. I did a lot of covers, and Queen is essentially sort of a cover situation, even with the band. And it was like a real nice challenge to go, okay, so let's find songs that some are obscure and new, some are really well known. Let's take a list of songs that we think are cool, and flip them and make them sound entirely different if we can. The album's going to be called High Drama.
Yes.
So it's pretty much
how
just
on
me.
brand. So on brand.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things over the past couple years is I think I've gotten really clear on I think I know what my brand is now, like more than ever. I think I wanted to do something that felt like, a bit rock star, like a bit, I'm working with Queen and I love rock music. So it's got a little rock and roll alternative in there. It's got a little funk in there. And there's also some really haunting ballads as well. So it gives you a little bit of everything, all very high drama, not exactly subtle. And some of the songs like Holding Out for a Hero is on there.
Ooh, Bonnie Tyler.
Like a glam rock version of Holding Out for a Hero. It's pretty
Isn't
great.
that Jim Steinman? Oh no, Jim Steinman did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it is Jim Steinman.
Okay,
yeah.
Jim Steinman and you is a good combination. But I'd be perfectly happy with Adam Lambert sings the songs of Jim Steinman, including the Sisters of Mercy song, this Corrosion, and all of the Meatloaf songs. I'd be super, super into that.
I will say that I think Holding Out for a Hero is enough Jim Steinman for everybody, but yeah.
Maybe so.
Enough for me right now, anyway. Get ready for this version. You'll love it. So there's that. There's a version of Chandelier by Sia. There's a version of Getting Older by Billie Eilish.
Ooh, nice. Great.
There's West Coast by Lana Del Rey. There's Ordinary World by Duran Duran. A really beautiful version of that. I Can't Stand the Rain. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me by Boy George.
Oh my God, yes.
I have My Attic by Pink.
Nice.
Mad About the Boy by Noel Coward. And then finally, there's going to be a song written by a guy named Joe Bryant called I'm a Man. Yeah, when I saw the documentary, I was just like, oh my God. I remember sitting there going, it just resonated with me so much. And I don't know why. He was also in Hair, the musical, which is where I did that. There was just all these weird parallels. And I was like, okay, this is amazing. This guy's incredible. And it's crazy too, because my uncle, who's no longer with us, he saw the one show on their tour that was good in Tuscaloosa in the South. He was there at that show, and he was a fan. He was a Joe Bryant fan, yeah.
Wow.
Kind of crazy, yeah.
Wow, it's so full circle that this is happening. And I feel like he kind of opened the door for people like yourself, because if I'm not mistaken, he was kind of the very first openly gay rock star from the beginning, not who came out, a little bit later or hinted at it, but was basically asking me if I'm gay is like asking James Brown if he's black is a great quote.
Yeah. Asking me if I'm homosexual is like asking James Brown if he's black.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell
the true fairy of rock and roll.
So it's really interesting that now you're kind of much like Morrissey did, I guess, kind of bring his story a little bit more to the mainstream through the cover of I'm a Man.
And I'm a Man, the thing I love about I'm a Man is that it's obviously, it was written in a different time. Right now we have a much different discussion around masculinity and femininity and gender and all those things. But, maybe, who knows, maybe back in, maybe if there was a word for it back then, maybe Joe Bryant would have considered himself non-binary or gender fluid or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really interesting message in that song, because he's basically just saying I'm a man, I'm not the kind of man you are, I'm this kind of man. Mm-hmm. Let me just be that kind of man. Let me just be me. Let me be exactly what I am. Mm-hmm. So it's very and this was his first single. It's very, it's a big mission statement, for him. And it's definitely a bold move that was his first track. Coming out on the scene saying, this is me.
was interesting when you were talking about all the people or all the songs on the track list. You know, is there a through line to them? Because they're obviously different genres and different decades, and you know,
I think it's not a super like specific criteria. We came up with this idea of like high drama. Let's just like, it's a brand that, you know, it's just me just doing me, you know, and it actually feels really good because I think, you know, in the past I might have, you know, been trying to like manufacture something or run toward a trend or a sound. And I think this album, even though they're covers, we've managed to sort of make them sound and feel original enough so they're like my kind of records. It just feels like we're doing it without thinking about it in a way. But I'm not trying to do a theme or a sound. I just am doing it. It just feels very natural, which is really nice.
See, it's interesting because you say you're not trying to do a theme or whatever. As I remember, wasn't that like a kind of sticking point with your previous label? If they wanted you to do like an 80s cover album, and you didn't want to do that at that time. And
it was RCA. Yeah, it was RCA. And yeah, at the time, it just didn't feel right. And also at the time, what they wanted to do was a new wave album. And I like new wave music a lot. And it's great, but it's not necessarily the most vocal of genres. But also, it just at the time I just didn't see it. I was like, I want to make my own music right now. But now I'm in a place where it just appealed to me. The idea sounded like really fun. It just, you know. And I do think that as a musician, as an artist, I think I've evolved a bit. I think I can look at a song and I know exactly what I want to do with it now, and I feel more confident in those ideas. And I think at that time when they were asking me to do that, I don't think I was as confident.
Why not?
Everything was so new. Everything was so overwhelming. And you know, the music business is hard. It's a business, and I love making music. I love being creative in the studio. I love getting on stage, but the business side of it can be challenging. And I think at that point, I think I might have been a bit frustrated with it and a little overwhelmed by it. So I think now I feel much more settled, and I feel much more sure of myself and who I am and what I am and what I'm not. Mm-hmm. And it's exciting because I think I've earned it with, you know, touring with Queen. I think I've earned a certain fan base and attention. And now with that sort of as a backdrop, I'm turning around and trying to make like an album of music that all the people that I've sort of interacted with will like, you know. Fans of Queen might like it, fans of mine will like it. And most importantly, I like it. I like playing the music. It sounds good.